My name is Aliyu Sulaiman. I am a graduate of political science from Kaduna State University, currently doing my internship with the ECOWAS Commission here in Abuja. Well, today marks the International Youth Day. The theme of this year's program, which was coined by the Pan African Youth Union, is integration, security, peace and development, the role of an African youth. As we are all aware that this continent is a continent that suffered from different intensities, ranging from slavery, colonization, and neo-colonization, imperialism, and now globalization. You know, this continent was parceled out in Berlin, Germany in 1884 to 1885, whereby we were divided into sphere of influence by the colonizers, and Nigeria happened to be the colony of the United Kingdom. And so as the rest of the other African countries, the likes of Germany, the likes of Belgium, the like of France, the like of Italy and others. So we have inherited a country whereby the colonizers have emphasized about our ethnicity, our differences. Once someone emphasizes your differences, then that is a recipe for conflict. And then Nigeria has never done the same again. You remember we fought so many things in Nigeria, ranging from you remember the Kano riot in the 1950s, you remember the civil war in the 1960s, you remember the wars in Kaduna, you remember the wars in different northern states. This is what we have inherited from the historical colonizers, because they are the one that actually emphasize our differences. And after the departure of the colonial powers, we have seen what happened. The leaders that took over power in Nigeria continue from that aspect. In fact, they become more worse than the colonizers. We have seen what is happening currently in the northern part of Nigeria. We fought so many wars and we are still fighting wars. You remember the Boko Haram in Maiduguri, Borno State. You remember kidnapping is still happening, banditry. You remember the wars or the conflict between herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen and the farmers. But we are going to overcome it. Let me tell you something. Throughout history, the youth of a nation are always peoples who are going to be in the forefront in providing solution to their countries. You remember the civil rights movement in the United States of America when Martin Luther King Jr. was marching in Montgomery, Alabama. He fought the civil rights movement and they were successful at the end of the day. You remember Japan was bombed to the ground in 1976. And look at Japan today, producing cars and other things. You remember that Vietnam was also bombed to the ground. Look at Vietnam today. They are in the business of producing all the coffee we are taking today. The two Koreans, South and the North Koreans, were at war in 1950s. Look at the two Koreans today. Even China were at war. The Germany was bombed to the ground after the Second World War 1945. Look at Germany today. I think they are the fourth largest economy in the world. So the youth are always in the forefront in providing solutions to their own countries and to their own environment. I think what we should do as a Nigerian, and with special emphasis with the northern part of the country, is love of our country. I think one of the problems we have in Nigeria is that we don't love our country. We don't love to serve our country with all honesty. We don't serve, even when we are given the opportunity to serve this country, we serve her dishonestly. So we must begin to think how we can serve her honestly. Because it is only when we serve her honestly, we are going to salvage our country from the morass of conflict and from the morass of underdevelopment. There are people who serve this continent, who serve this country, and we are still enjoying the dividends of their works. Look at Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, look at Sir Ahmadu Bello the Sardauna of Sokoto, look at people like Malam Aminu Kano, look at people like J.S. Tarka, look at people like Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. All these people are prominent and they serve their country. Today their country is still remembering them. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we must ensure as an African youth we did something for our environment. We must ensure that we have changed the world. And when I said the world, it's not the world that you see today. When I said world, I mean your immediate surrounding. That is the world. And I remember the quote made by that famous American, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, If the world is dead, don't complain about the dead. Sweep your yard, let your neighbor sweep his yard, and lo and behold, the world will be clean. Mother Teresa of India was also right when she said, if you go to a room and find out there is darkness, don't complain about the darkness. Take your candle, light your candle, let your neighbor light his candle, and light will conquer the darkness. So ladies and gentlemen, as an African youth and as an indigene of the northern part of Nigeria, we must love our country. And when I see the protest happening recently in the northern part of the country and in some part of the southern Nigeria, I remember what happened during the Arab Spring in 2011 and 2012 when it started in the Tahrir Square. We have seen what the youth did. Those people who have brought change in the Arab world today, in the northern Africa, countries like Egypt, Morocco and Algeria and even Libya. When you look at the people who protested at that time, what they were saying is that we are not going to leave the street too early until you guarantee us freedom, until you guarantee us water, until you guarantee us justice, until you guarantee us food. This is what they were telling their leaders at that time in the Arab world. So if our leaders are not careful, what happened during the Arab Revolution, what we call the Arab Uprising today, if we are not extra careful, I'm talking about the leaders now, what happened in the Arab world would happen in the north. And we started seeing the indices, we have started seeing the signs of those things. So ladies and gentlemen, we must love our country, Nigeria. Nigeria must be our permanent interest. It is the only country we have. If you did not serve Nigeria, nobody will serve her. Remember, Chinese are not here in Nigeria, in Africa. They are not here for charity. They are here to do business. Remember, the French are not here for charity. They are here to do business. Remember that the Germans are not here for charity. They are here to do business. All other civilizations that we have seen coming into Nigeria, they are not here for charity. They are here for business, and they are here to serve the interest of their civilization, not the interest of Nigerians. Until the day we recognize this, Nigeria will continue to be the scum of the earth. God forbid Nigeria will be great again. I remain Aliyu Sulaiman from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Kaduna State particularly. Thank you very much.